it's Tessa, and in this video I'm going to be showing you my brand new commonplace book. So I did make a video a little while back that was talking about commonplace books. I have changed a lot of how I do my book journal ever since that video, and I wanted to show you all the changes that I made because they are pretty important ones. But before we get started on that, I do want to talk a little bit about why commonplace books are motivational and how they can get you motivated to read more. So I've been doing this for a really long time, and I love my commonplace because it's a bit like a checklist. It's the same feeling as checking off something that you needed to do on your checklist. It's the same thing with writing down the books that you've read into your commonplace. It is just so satisfying when you write it down as read. It's so satisfying. It's also a really helpful way to look back on the books that you've read, because this information actually does come in useful, because if you're trying to find another book to read, you can look back in your commonplace and say, oh, I really liked that author, let's look into them. Or, oh, this genre was really good, I should look into that one next. Things like that. It's just really easy to kind of collect data on yourself through this commonplace book. However, the style that you book journal does make or break your motivation, and it's different for everybody. That's what I want to say, because everybody's different. They all journal in a different way. Some people want to do the bare minimum, and some people will want to write paragraphs and pages about the books that they read. So this is what I do. I find it really helpful. Maybe it will help you too, but what I want you to do is find what works for you. Find how you like to do your book journal, and these are just some ideas for you. So the first major change that I made to my commonplace for 2021 was I do not have a TBR list in my commonplace anymore. So in the last video that I made, I said that I split my book into 3 sections for want to read, books I've read, and quotes. I don't have any of those sections anymore. The sections kind of stressed me out because I would always be worried about, oh my gosh, what if I run out of room in one section and then have to put it in another section? It was just kind of all over the place and I didn't like it. So now I just have one continuous book, and all of my TBR, I don't even have it in there anymore. All of my TBR is on Goodreads. So that's where I have my list of books that I want to read instead of written down in here. And I think that's really good because when I write down a book, I say, oh, I want to read this one, but then maybe in a few months I'm like, no, I don't want to read that. So I like exit out and it just makes clutter. But on Goodreads, I can just delete the book off my TBR if I want to. So more about the formatting, I did change it a lot. So what I have for each entry is the title of the book, the author, the date that I read it, the star rating that I gave it, and then under the entry of what I read, I put any quotes that I really liked from the book instead of putting them in a separate place. I don't know why I did that before. It was really weird how that happened. But yeah, I like it so much more now because it's all in one place and I can just fill out the whole book instead of worrying about, oh my gosh, I'm gonna run out of space for quotes. Okay, so this is kind of a weird one, but for my old commonplace, I only used one pen. And now I don't do that anymore. So there are different colors in here, there are different pen thicknesses now, but I like it so much better. It looks fine still, it looks very nice. The handwriting is always the same, so yeah, it doesn't matter. That is the one tip that I think anybody should go by, because when you use one pen in a journal, it just makes it so much more stiff and not flexible and like very formal. Don't do that to yourself, just don't do it. So those are all the changes that I made, other than this is a much smaller and nicer journal than my last one. But in this video, I also wanted to show you a few of the books on my TBR. I don't do TBR videos because honestly, I just don't think they're very interesting. But to make this video a little bit longer, I have included some of my TBR in this video. So 5 books from my TBR are The Hunger Games, Jane Eyre, Captain Grey, Walk Two Moons, and the Alexander Hamilton biography. And these are not all the books on my list. I have many, many more, but if you want to check them out, go on to Goodreads. The link for my account is in the description box. And I don't make TBR videos or wrap-up videos or anything like that, but if you want to see what I'm reading and what I want to read, you can just go on to Goodreads, because that's where I post that stuff. So yeah, anyway, sorry this was so short. I just was really excited about this video, but I also didn't have much to say. But I think the stuff that I said was important to me, so that was all for this video. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you soon. Bye!